Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.
Welcome to the third game of the first day. It is Boland Landbou taking on Grey High School, and this is going to be an incredible encounter. Boland are ranked 19th in the country, and Grey are ranked 9th. It's going to be a fascinating encounter. Grey High School have a lot of Craven Week players who have been selected for the squad. On the other hand, Boland Landbou are going to miss 3 of their players for Western Province Craven Week because of the pre-tournament embargo that the Western Province team are on. With me in the commentary box today is the second 15 coach of Grey, Werner Barnard. Werner, good afternoon, or good morning.
Thanks, Jason. Good to be here. Looking forward to this clash. Interesting that Grey, the last 3 times they've played Landbou, they've won fairly comfortably every single time, but I think we're in for a cracker of a game here. 2 contrasting styles of play. Landbou, one of the harder running sides I've ever witnessed as a coach, and I remember a couple of guys, the last time we played them 2 years ago, being really sore, battered and bruised after the encounter.
Landbou as well, they've played 6 teams in the top 20, winning 3 of them. Grey, on the other hand, arguably might have had an easier road. They played 3 out of the top 20 and won 1 of those games, and that was a big one against Paulus. And I don't know if you can give some background on this war cry, Werner.
The Taka has been going since the 1920s. It's a little bit of funny galore to an extent. Boston boys came up with it, and it's become a major tradition. Boys look forward to it. The stand goes crazy every home game when they do their war cry, and one of those stereotypical traditions that boys schools have.
So it's going to be Sichle Injezuda with the kickoff. The number 15, powerful runner, and he's also a man for the big occasion.
Yeah, I hope so. Sickler's disappointed me a little bit this year, but I suppose when guys have got green and gold blazers hanging in the cupboard, you expect massive performances every single week. It took a long time to struggle for an ankle injury, and is finally back, and possibly being a fairly sensitive guy, it's taking a while to get back into it.
So the storm of a game is underway, and it's picked up by the 8th man, Armand Adendorf, and he's carrying it up. That's a good start for Landbou. They'll be eager to put some initial pressure on, and there's Hanro Daniel van der Merwe, the right winger. Landbou in Grey's half. Positive player at the moment as they pick and go. Gavin Moles is at scrum off, and he flings it away. He's got forward there, crashing it up. But Landbou looking to do the hard yards, and they've lost it. And here's Pedro, and he's found his 5, Olje Japre. Brings up, beautiful pass, and here's Konza, and you can just hear the shouts there. Supporters enjoyed that one. Pedro fires it away, and they've knocked it on. Werner, to bring you in here, it was a good initial start by Landbou, and then they gave the ball away.
I'd like to see Grey clear their lines and get downfield. Unfortunately, some sloppy hands around the fringe, and now it's Landbou coming wide with it.
Luther McKay. And he thinks out Darren Hendricks. This man is a free radical, and he's got a Hanro Daniel van der Merwe on his outside, but he decides to go on his own, pops it in. It's Lord Luther who will register the first points for Boland. What a start.
Yeah, as expected. Been worried about this game all week long, and that man 15 was
Luther
it McKay. Showing great support lines, following his fly off and getting under the poles.
Wonderful stuff there by Boland. It's exactly what they needed. They got a lot of live wires in that back line. The try scorer, Luther McKay, the fly off, Darren Hendricks. And now the scrum off, Gavin Mills, who kicked 4 out of 6 last week in that close encounter against the top team in the country, Pole Boys. They just lost it. They were actually losing by about 20 points at one stage, and the final score was 33-38. And they'll bring in a lot of confidence, and it was a good start for them there.
Yeah, the perfect start. As a coach, 2 minutes in, 7-0 up. And great, a little bit to think about, yeah. I think probably need to respect territory and possession a little bit more than they did in that last passage of play.
They're going to miss their captain as well, Bevan Prinsloo, the number 8, captain of the Craven Week side, out with a spider bite. He was out last week, still hasn't recovered. But anyways, here come Landbou, without 3 of their Craven Week stars, but it looks like at the moment it's not troubling them. Hendricks trying to go for the educated boots, and here's Olje Depre. He's also a live wire, initially a fullback, and he takes it up towards halfway. Pedro, and here's the big man, Waya Henderson, and he offloads it to Lacken Grey. So Grey now with an opportunity. Numbers on the right, and it's been stolen like a thief in the night there by Landbou. Penalty to Boland.
Disappointing there, a little bit of lack of patience, not really valuing the clean at the ruck, and but a promising start there. Bit better play than the last passage for Gray. 10 minutes near enough for a bit of chirping. Silly stuff from the boys in azure blue. And interesting to see how Landbou's line-out operates from this first set piece of the game.
Now, also with Landbou, they had a shaky start to the season, and then they got some very good victories, which placed them 19th in the country. Grey, on the other hand, they were unbeaten for about 10 or 11 games, and then recently 1 or 2 losses creeping in. So they need a big game here, because on Monday they play Sax, and that's going to be maybe the game of the tournament, Werner. They need to get it right here.
Yeah, we're looking for that Sax encounter. We actually asked to play against them. Both headmasters retiring at the end of the year, Kenny Boland and Neil Crawford. Crawford, interesting enough, has been involved in every single Cape Schools week, starting off as a young teacher at Wynberg Boys High, then at Queen's College, then at Muir College. So a festival he's very, very passionate about. So it'll be quite an occasion. I think emotions will be very high on Monday afternoon.
Also, I believe, Werner, one of your coaches, Byron Schmitz, is heading off to Germany. Pretty interesting stuff. Rugby's obviously advancing there over the years. It's good to see, but any more background on that?
Interesting with the Olympic funding for sevens. Teams are throwing money at countries throwing money at rugby at the moment. And actually, a friend of mine from my Stellenbosch days, Koos Buchel, is a national coach. And Byron expressed an interest. His wife has a German passport, and they've decided to make the move. Exciting times for me. We'll be heading up a youth academy at Frankfurt in Germany, and we're going to miss him, but exciting times for him.
If you see Germany emerging up the world rankings, you'll know why. And here come Grey. So that was a good run by Ryan Adams, the number 8, and Pedro putting it onto the boots. The top try scorer in this Grey team, scored about 10 tries this season. And the number 11, Eric Lamprecht, he scored a blinder of a try last week, but he won't be happy with that kick. So Grey, an opportunity here, Werner.
Yeah, I think we're happy with that net return there. Pressure on 11, and he's skied his kick. And now I think we'll probably see a 5-man line out here. I think Grey hoping to start with the drive, set a platform, and try and get some ascendancy in the Boland upper half.
You can see your boy Dean van Dijk in the back line there too, but there's Waka the King Salon, and he's 100 kilograms of pure beef. Also in the Craven Week team with his centre partner Ayabonga Matrus and Aljae Dupree. And here's Matrus putting it ahead in Jesuda. Can he gather? He can't, unfortunately. And Landbou through Sebastian de Klerk managed to cover up that ball. Mills sends it to Hendricks, and he has a chance now for Ronaldo Pedro. He's got players on his outside in Konza, and here goes Pedro coasting through the gap. It was a wonderful offload, but unfortunately Landbou, they were in the right place there, Werner.
Disappointing to see the ball being tossed away, but he's a live wire. Man scores tries for fun, and again Landbou missed touch. Konza with a chance to run again, lost his footing.
Scored 2 tries last week, Konza. Was wonderful in that game against Daniel Pena. And Grey looking like they're enjoying some possession now after an initial tough 5 minutes. Pedro, Dupree, Matrus. And he has a chance for Ewan Tate. Brings it back into Matrus, but it's gone out. Landbou, are we loving that?
Flag up there. I'm not really sure about that decision, but we'll go with that. So Landbou, the defensive line is holding strong. They're not committing too many guys to the breakdown, and Grey looking for space on the outside. Possibly need to be a little bit more direct, set a target once or twice, and then look to spread the ball.
So Landbou also without their main captain in Herman Leroux, who's in the Craven Week side. So they have to step up today. Almost stolen by Grey, and it's pulled away here by Tace Kitsoff on the 10-meter line. Landbou looking very efficient. And there's Marco van Niekerk. He's a great runner. He's a big boy. Gavin Mills coming on the right. Here is Darren Hendricks, and he's found a space. He's a complete free radical. And there goes Hanro, Daniel van der Merwe. And they're in the 22. Grey really under the cosh here. But they do well. They get out of jail. What
great
a steal.
Tackle there, Laken Grey, covering some big yards there. The tall lock forward. Laken a great 11 boy in the Craven Week side as well. And much expected from him, but something to get worried here. Slipping a lot of tackles on the outside. Men getting toilet seated to an extent. Flat-footed, and Fly from Landbou is having a fielder at the moment.
When was the last time Grey was down at this part of the world in Rondebosch? Maybe they're not used to it.
I'm trying to remember. We've played Rondebosch a few times in the last 7 or 8 years, but I think possibly since 1997 we haven't been on this field. So a long time. That's before I finished school.
He has a chance. Inches loser. and gives it to Konza. And the ball's gone forward there. Unfortunately, Gray making a few errors at the moment. And Landbou are enjoying that. Scrum to Landbou.
How disappointing, and boys, what schoolboys wanting to throw the ball around, and you're doing the right, rather set that wide ruck, and it's the best attacking ball when you've gone wide once or twice, coming back at defenders who are sort of drifting across the field. So you're disappointed by that, but again, promising signs. Guys are managing to get a bit of width at times and getting go forward.
There's a penalty there, Fenner. So pretty lucky there for Gray, and they have a decision now, but they'll probably go for touch here and back their line out.
Yeah, the touch, we have Wakos along with the left foot. Referee obviously trying to put his mark on this. I think both sides are testing him a bit at the moment, showing them who is boss.
Fenner, there's a bit of a story behind, I believe, behind Solon and Matrus, that they've been playing rugby together since they could walk. I don't know if that's true, but...
Waka came to us from the Gamtus Valley. That's hanky sort of territory, and he became friends with Aya. They were picked in an EP under 12 team. Aya's from Somerset East, another farming community, and the two have been firm friends. Both took bursaries in grade 8 to come and join us, and apparently consulted each other before they made the decision, and not their parents, which is quite amusing. But they're inseparable. Share a dormitory in the boarding house, and in the same classes. Great bunch of kids.
And hence they form the centre pairing as well for Eastern Province in a few weeks' time. Gray with the ball. In a slow start for them. And they work that blind side there through Ryan Adams. Standing in for Bevan Prinsloo. Pedro, Waya Henderson. Another penalty, basically in the same position.
Let's hope they make better use of this one this time. Landbou getting a bit disciplined at the breakdown at the moment, trying to force the clean or get hands in when they shouldn't really be trying to do so. And again, Solon with the left foot. And that's not a bad touch he's found there. No, not much yardage on it. Tough angle to work with. And again, looks like a 5. No, they're going with a full line. I think we should expect a drive here.
Let's see what Gray can conjure up. Dean van Dijk with a clean catch. Adams, Pedro. He likes to cause the opposition a lot of problems, and he asks a lot of questions as well in the Academy Week team. And Gray look to build some pressure, and they look to enter the 22 and pulled some phases, but it's stolen again, but it's a penalty. Decision time, Fenner.
It's got to be 3 points there. Boland man going in the tackle, not releasing the defender player and then playing the ball. Silly error, panicky, probably that close to his try line, and I think Dupree, yeah. Fafa Holder coming on with the tee. Gray want to get on the board. Good decision. 10 minutes gone, and they've had the rub, I think. Last, probably spent about 55 to 60% of the time in Boland's half, now the last 10 minutes, and time to get on the board.
And he's an interesting talent as well. He was unlucky not to get into any of the Academy Week teams or Craven Week sides. Initially a fullback, I believe, and he's actually only come into 5 since there was an injury to one of your first 5s.
Campbell de Vet, both LJ and Campbell bat in the top 4 of the first cricket 11, and Campbell had a horrific concussion against Marlow in our first outing this year. Actually was touch and go. We thought he was in a bit of trouble, and thankfully has pulled through, but will not be playing sport this whole year. And LJ was a bit of a stopgap selection and has just blossomed. Incredibly talented sportsman. One of these guys picks up a racket or a bat or a stick and is exceptional. So hopefully we'll see big things. I think the province has really made a mistake not including him in either of the under-18 sides for the 2 tournaments coming up at Cincinnati in a few weeks' time.
So 7 points to 3. It's been a cracking 12 minutes. Landbou arguably with the slightly upper hand, and Hendricks with an interesting kick. And Lacken Gray takes a good clean take there for his team. Pedro working that blind side. Here they go. Crashing it up. Here's Gray, and Pedro is at the base.
Everyone Yonka, there we have James Scott. Nice good carry from Scotty. Pedro again to Dupree, Matris, and Jazula.
Help him!
Oh, looking for the spectacular again. Silly play. Ref hasn't called forward pass, so play on.
Help, clean on him!
Gray are lucky to come away with the ball here. It was wild stuff with that out the back door pass. And Pedro, and this time finds Lacken Gray, the big man, getting over the advantage line. Dupree. And here's the king, Solon, up over the 10-meter line. Warwick Griffin, Matrus. So, can Gray look to break this Boland defense? Konza still going, but unfortunately there's a flag up there. It's interesting so far, Fena.
Good passage of play there. Boland's defending pretty medium press, and they're getting some nice width on their defence. I think Gray probably need to look for a little grubber or a little chip over the top and try and put them under a bit of pressure, but I think the coaching staff will be pleased with that prolonged periods of possession that they've had deep in Boland's half.
Tion Drotsky with the feed. Had a great game last week against Paul Boys, and it's stolen. So, Gray with an opportunity. Van Dijk, that's good hard running, but he's driven back in the tackle, surprisingly there. And here come Boland now.
Great tackle there. Landbou, that's I think the second lineup they've lost, but I'll be pleased with that. Big hits. Van Dijk far too upright in the carry, but hasn't found touch. And Jazila with a chance to do something here. So he passes it early. No, decides wisely on the foot.
Well, when Njazula gets the ball, you never know. And here's Luther McKay. And can he find touch? Ewan Tate. That's a line out. What is the ref signalling here?
Yeah,
line out to Gray.
Good decision there by the AR. Ball was kicked from inside the 22, so it doesn't have to go back into play. Good application of the law there. And Gray again looking for, was it a four-man setup? Landbou trying to communicate here, set up their contestation.
Trotsky with the feed. He finds Kutsov, and here's Hendricks. Fires it away to the captain, Francois de Toy. They look this way, Mills at fly off this time, and there's Lord Luther again. What an offload to Gavin Mills. Landbou in a good part of the field. 7 points to 3. Can they register some more points? Slow at the moment. Mills. Good patient player by Landbou. And picking it up is Franco Fenter. Mills, Hendricks. There's space here. Sebastian de Klerk. They've got a great centre combination as well, do Landbou. And here's Hendricks again, the live wire. Offloads it to the number 11, Lamprecht, but unfortunately, and luckily enough for Gray, they've got the ball.
Interesting to see Landbou trying to go wide from that sort of slow ball situation. But nearly came off for them. They've been unfortunately able to hold possession there, Eric Lamprecht. And again, Gray with the lineup, they've been quite sharp today. I don't think I'll be too nervous. Referees offered them the scrum, they've taken it. And he's probably going to find a one-hit and clear strategy here. Wakassalan lining up close to the try line. He's probably going to try and run over someone, set up a decent set of target for his forwards to clean, and then probably clear their lines.
So Pedro with the feed. Gray need a good scrum here to just relieve some pressure. Pedro under pressure, runs into his opposite or into his flanker, Dean van Dijk. And Gray a bit under the cosh here. So they look to set up a decent platform before kicking. But they're keeping it tight. In their 22. Pedro this time finds Alje de Prier. And that's not out. And it's straight to the danger man, Lamprecht. And he's given it to Gavin Mills. And he decides to go on his own. Few players on the outside. But Landbou still on a good part of the field. They crash it up through Kutsov, and it's stolen by Ryan Adams. Dean van Dijk looking to hold him up there. Gray, there's lots of space behind the Landbou defense. Not sure about that decision though with the box kick. Luther McKay makes no mistake, he's under that. And what will Landbou do? They got tons of numbers on the right here. Sebastian de Klerk looks to go back into the traffic, and he's tackled by the captain Matrus. Mills hacks it ahead, and here's danger if that stays in field, but it goes out.
I'm just living on the edge there. He had no numbers, and he rushed up and made the hit, thankfully. Mills with a good option. Landbou keeping moving forward there. One of those adages in rugby, Guy Blikkie Schoenewald that I've encountered, coach still the head of rugby at Tuks, and he said the fundamental of the sport is vorentoe. You've got to keep moving forward if you're carrying the ball, running with it, or kicking it. So I think Boland Landbou will be quite pleased getting out of jail there. I don't think Pedro executed his clearance kick very, very well. Skied it a little bit. There's Travis de Bruin with the catch. Pedro tells de Prier. Going wide from this, surprisingly. Big Hail Mary pass. Philippi Henderson. Probably going to tighten up a little bit here. Phil has played in 4 positions in this first team pack this year already. And he's actually on standby as a hooker for this tournament too, believe it or not.
I believe he can play tight end prop as well, Fenner. Man of all trades there.
Very talented. Also another surprising non-selection for the provincial sides. He captained the Grand Como side in his great tenure. Oh, just ruined Yonko in the break. Be waffling. Sits a wide ruck.
Pedro fires it away to Travis the Brain. And Gray looked to set up a platform here. Good initial play to get into the half of Landbou. And yeah, Solan. He's also got a pass as well. And he flings that to his centre counterpart. And Matrus. Pedro is slow to arrive. De Prier. And Lamprecht. Awkward one for him there. Gray lucky that it didn't go straight into his hands because it slowed him down a bit. And there was a knock on there. So, Gray, you feel that they need to try to get over the White Ross and get a try here, Werner?
They have to. I feel you need to get at least 2 tries every single half to be competitive at the sport, unless the conditions are dire. But it's been a beautiful day. We were a bit worried driving in yesterday. It was a bit rainy and grey, but the sun is out. There's not a breath of wind. Surface has been pretty good too. I think seeing how much rain has fallen the last couple of days. So it's a great platform for some good rugby, I think, and hopefully we can see some tries.
Will we see Big Waka Salon and Matrus featuring in this passage of play? I got a lot of firepower, Gray. And it's an interesting matchup in that centre combination between Landbou with the Toit and de Klerk. And here come Gray through Olje de Prier. Not afraid to take it to the line. He likes to have a go himself. Here's Matrus and here's Njazula. And what can he do? He's a powerful runner. A bit of a spinner-rooney there almost. When you give it to Njazula, you never know. Pick and go there from Matrus, out of all players, the centre. And here's Dean van Dijk. And Gray is sensing an opportunity here, Werner.
Van Dijk probably should have offloaded there, but it's still good go for a ball. James Scott taking the midfield now. And again, a good platform. Pedro, probably go same side. There's an overlap. Warwick Griffin, the tight head. Seeing Warwick Griffin going to do an IT Olympiad tomorrow at UCT. One of 15 boys selected. We don't usually expect that sort of academic performance from men in the tight 5, but they always tell us they're the smartest of rugby players. Warwick proving that this week. And there's a penalty.
Maybe a future Yanni du Plessis.
Possibly.
So it's decision time here. Sensible thing would be to possibly have a shot at goal. But who knows with these school kids?
You can't use sensible and schoolboy rugby play in the same sentence. So I think they'll probably go for the corner. No, they're calling for the tee, believe it or not.
Olje de Prier.
Olje sorely missed against Dale College a few weeks ago in King Williamstown. Outscored Dale 5 tries to 3 and only managed to put 1 kick over all day long. So, and I think Olje, we probably would have got at least one of those 5 if he'd been playing that really cold and miserable day down in the graveyard.
Difficult place to play. What a game that was though as well. Just everything you expected to see.
I'm looking forward to watching the Delfly Fossey play later today. Very, very special talent that he is. And he's a complete package, that boy. Just devastating runner, kicks well out of hand, and he's a dead-eyed goal kicker as well.
Makes no mistake there, Olje de Prier. Just going back on Fossey, it's a little bit of a pity that he's 19, so he won't feature in the Craven Week team this year, but the man is just, he's magical. What he did on that day against Gray was just unbelievable.
And there we have Daniel Wolf coming onto the field, yeah. Daniel has risen through the ranks. He's been in the 3rd side most of the season, but has just been incredibly good as a loose head prop. And he gets his first taste of first team rugby here.
I believe it's his 2nd cap. He played last week for the first time.
Yes, he did.
Anyways, Hendricks. Hardly anything separating the sides. And Gray, what are they going to signal? They'll have the scrum on halfway. 7-6, fair reflection after 20 or so minutes. Werner?
Definitely. Landbou, of course, getting that one opportunity early on, and they took it. That's what the sport is about. And I think Gray have been full value for their 6 points. They've dominated territory possession since then. But I think just need to possibly be a little bit more patient, or alternatively, some of the guys probably need to throw an offload. Dean van Dijk has got into contact 4 or 5 times with men screaming for the ball on the outside. So I think we're probably going to see them going to the right here on this scrum. Ref isn't happy with the binding.
one area of the game that can get pretty frustrating.
Quite like seeing a referee for once actually talking to the boys and telling what he expects instead of just giving the long arm. Because there's nothing more disappointing than losing rugby matches based on scrum penalties, I'll tell you.
So, what do Grey have up their sleeves in the centre field scrum? Pedro. Adams to Pedro. And back on the inside to Jazula. And what an inside run. Can he link up? Decides to go on his own. And he offloads it beautifully to Ryan Adams. And here come Grey now for a chance to go in front. Jazula finds Konza. And that's a fabulous score, Werner.
No, we've got a flag up.
Oh, it's a flag up.
Lovely passage of play. Pity, I think Sinclair stepping to the left. Wish he'd gone right to the right there where his support was, but encouraging signs. And Landbou under a bit of pressure. Their line-out hasn't been working very well. And I think these Grey forwards might be licking their lips. We might see something happen from here.
Landbou will be counting their lucky stars there.
Turnover ball.
So Grey have another chance. Can they make amends for being in touch? Waya Henderson, the number 4. Patient stuff here at the moment by Grey, looking to pick and drive. Pedro gathering the troops, saying have another go. Waya Henderson. And it's a penalty to Landbou. They seem to just get out of trouble all the time here.
Waya Henderson deciding to go against the grain there with the pick and go. You always want to move in one direction, either towards the post or the touchline. He changed direction. Cleaners weren't ready, and Landbou snaffling that ball. Kudos to them, and get to clear their lines here.
Oh, look at this from Landbou. Hendricks got a bag of tricks, and now there's an overlap here. Perfect chance to Clerk, and this time excuses the run on his outside and puts it to boot. Not sure about that, but here comes Njazuda, who had a wonderful break a few minutes ago. Grey on the attack. Can they register some points for the encouraging attacking displays in the last 5 minutes? 7 points to 6. Pedro Dupria fires it away. Looking to get over the advantage line. Pedro Dupria, like the way he runs, is Dupria. And he finds the tight head prop, Warwick Griffin. That's a good run on the right wing, thirding with the touchline. And here's the king again, Salon, carrying it up. Gets plenty of meters on the clock. Does Waka Salon, Dupria. Ryan Adams, and he just knocks the Landbou player off his feet. Pedro Dupria. Travis the Brain. Didn't see Ewan Tate on his outside, but Tate didn't have much space anyways. Pedro is at the base. Dupria again. This is wonderful stuff by Grey. Looking to register their first try of the game. Pedro. And Lacken Grey's left that behind. Here's danger. Complete danger. Sebastian de Klerk. Landbou just almost seeming to get out of trouble all the time here.
Well, Lacken Grey be disappointed with that, and I think this is not over yet as an attacking platform. No, bounces back into Philip Henderson's hands. Gets it a walkout. Imatrus, and he's having a go here. Landbou are living dangerously, but I think they've defended very, very well. Not really missed tackles from them, and they're getting back into structure. Oh, there's a turnover. Coming wide to the right wing.
Van der Merwe. And Van der Merwe is coasting, and he could go all the way here. Van der Merwe, and unselfishly gives it to the number 8, Armin Ardendorf, and what a game we have here.
Now, I'll be frustrated with that. They've been holding on to the ball for long periods of time, and then a mistake. Lacken Grey dropping the ball, and then Landbou kicked it downfield, got it back, and eventually this man on the outside. Great break from him, and well deserved. 8 minutes left in the half, 12-6, and I expect this conversion will go over from Mills.
Well, Grey, they've had their chances. 6 points down. Should be an 8-point gap now. Gavin Mills should make no mistake here. But Grey, they know they've got a big game lurking in 2 days' time as well. And you just feel that they need to actually register the result here to go in with confidence.
They have to. There are no easy games, though. We talk about that quite often at training, where we respect everybody. And I don't think the guys have lacked focus today. Just been a little bit inaccurate on attack. But Sachs does loom quite large in a couple of days' time. But need to beat Landbou first before we worry about anything else.
Focus on one game at a time, and that will be the call from Coach Alan Miles and Brian Schmidt. And Njazuda Do Grey have a response before half-time? They've got 2 minutes to do so. Landbou, well, they've really been surprising in this opening half. They've actually been a bit of everything. Surprising, playing conservatively, a perfect mix from them.
Yeah, they've had a good season. Look at their results against the two Paul schools. I mean, close loss last week to Boys High, and they beat Trim a few weeks ago. And their big win at the Wilderklaver against Monument, which not many people expected. This is the side not to be trifled. And I think this is going to be a tough further 40 minutes for Grey today. They have to work hard to win this one.
And it's Stolen again. I don't know which player is the Stolen Goods player, but he's doing a terrific job because they've managed to turn Grey a few times. And here's Van der Merwe giving chase. Lack and Grey, out of all people, the lock. In trouble in his own 22, and that's a great offload there to Konza. Now this man has a lot of danger, but Boland do well to carry him to ground. Grey regrouping in their 22. De Prier, well, he just needs to get this ball out, really. What will Landbou do here? Possible quick throw, but Gavin Mills decides otherwise. Final play of the half.
Well, I think if you look for a difference in these two sides today, Landbou have kicked much better out of hand. They found grass most of the time, and Grey opted to run a few times at their peril. Landbou on the hand there again, great kick downfield, and it's their liner just inside. Probably going to have a crack wide. They've gone for the shorter 5-man setup. Middle ball, oh, he's missed his jumper again.
They've still got it though. So here come Landbou. They won't care about the clock. They'll take any more points. Good run by the hooker, Drotsky. Tace Kutzhoff banging it up. Mills. This is forward stuff here. Bread and butter for Landbou. And Hendricks with a drop goal. Looks like it doesn't have the legs. And what will Grey, will they bang it out? They will. Njezula though, that could have been absolutely an awful result there. He's lucky it went out.
I think lucky the referee blew for the final play of the half there. Not the best kick out of hand. And it's 14-6. Some stern words expected here at half time.
So, little bits of, even though Landbou are ranked 19th in the country, Grey are ranked 9th. It's a bit surprising that Boland have put on such a good performance and they lead at half time.
I'm not surprised at all. I find these rankings very contentious, and I think our province favours us. The standard of rugby down in the Eastern Cape is not always what it is. We have a lot more easier games than our compatriots in the Western Cape do, and yeah, I think if you're third or fourth in the Western Cape, you're probably as good as the best in the Eastern Cape most of the time.
You spot on there, Venna, because Grey have only played 3 teams, besides Boland. Phenomenal player, Jeremy Ward as well, both playing at the Sharks, and then even Sergio Peterson.
Yeah, I think we've had 7 or 8 SA20 players in the last 4 years. 4 last season, which is a record for us, as well as the captain and vice captain, and we've come off a very successful 5 years.
He's bought the newspaper from Jabu on his way to work for as long as he can remember. Always the same corner, the same time, only the front page changes. They debate the most important matters in the world until the robot turns green. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that keeps your conversation going, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing. Their romance started with love notes, then texting. And even now that he's hundreds of kilometers away, they stay close, one video chat at a time. Protect your future memories by ensuring the one thing that makes your connection possible, your income. Follow the link to learn more about Liberty's income protection. Liberty, the advantage of knowing.
luckily there. So they'll look to settle down things. This ball can't go out on the full by De Pre. So he does the conservative thing and kicks it infield. Hendricks with the educated boots. And that's a great kick, Fenner.
Beautiful kick here. Landbou dropped 4 guys back. They're expecting the intelligently expecting the kick to end up inside, and he's found a great touch there, just a metre or so from the touchline, and pressure on again. This great line-out is working very well, though. I don't think you'll see Ruan Jonker getting too nervous about his throw. But they need to find a way to get back into the Boland half and try and gain some ascendancy again.
Great, Pedro. And here is Solon getting over the advantage line. He reminds me a lot of Nganani Lamape from the Hurricanes. Big, strong runner. And Lamprecht is under this. The danger man. And he finds his lord in Luther McKay. And here's Hendricks. A lot of numbers here. He decides to go by himself. Even though the school rugby rankings are a little bit argumentative, this would surely send, if Landbou can get a result, there's a lot to go still, but if they can get a result, they'll really shoot up the rankings. Gray, they need a result here just to stay in that top 10 position.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I feel a lot of the time a close loss to a top side is better than beating a weak side by a lot of points, and Landbou have shown that every big game they've had this term. They've been very, very competitive if they weren't winning. So they've been value, and I've seen it today. Scrum feed. Solon again, beats his man. Great line, he's run again.
He's a wonderful player. It's going to be exciting to see him at the Craven Week with Matrus. It's almost going to feel like a great team. But anyways, it's a penalty to Landbou, so decision time here, Fenner, to stretch the lead.
I'd take 3 if I was him. Yeah, they're going for poles. Just push it beyond 2 scores possibly. Interesting call there. Some referees decide to blow the wall at the side of the mall, and other times they don't really bother about it, so they'll be a bit annoyed by that. But again, I think Landbou probably value they deserve some points after this foray into the grey half.
So Gavin Mills is going to have a shot. He would like to think that he could put this over in his sleep, but can he live up to the moment and just bring Landbou some more comfort? Stretch the lead to 11 points. Mills. And he's done just that. Simple kick, but very good strike. Grey are chasing the game.
See a few changes. Yeah, Enrique Franks outside back, Josh Westhuizen into centre, and Corné Slabbert at hooker are coming on. Fresh legs maybe to inject some energy into this grey side, but they need to dig deep and need to start thinking a little bit outside the box, and maybe possibly just need to execute better than they have in the last couple of attacking exchanges they've had.
Watch out for Josh.
And they're going wide. Oh, wild pass. Jazula got time. Matrus looking to beat the defender. Inside pass to Jazula. Beats the defender and he's in space. Gets a pass away. It's Matrus again. Gives it to Solon. To Jazula. And has he got the wheels? Good tackle. Oh, going to touch. Much better there from the boys in blue. They'll be happy with that return. Probably gone 80 metres in that attack. And I think Justin, they probably need to again now. Boland, the line has been shaky all morning. Surprised they haven't made a change, and we'll see how they go from here.
All right, that was Gray's best passage of play there. Wonderful running, great offloads. Unlucky not to get a return. Landbou with the feed. Tian Drotsky and Skalk Bezaidenhout gathers that back, and here's the other lock forward, Marco van Niekerk. It's a big unit, towering figure. Hendricks trying to find touch, and it's a line out to Gray. Gray brought on a lot of replacements, but they've got a lot of depth there as well. They've got star players in their bench. A few of them also will look to make a big impact. Pravin Bosch as well, who used to play first team scrum of last year. So they've got players on the bench to do it.
Bench has served them well at the Saints Festival particularly. Found we scored more points with the bench on than with the starters. So a lot of faith in the guys that have come on. And we're going wide here again. Matrus sees a gap. Gets his hands free, and Jazula again. Has found the offload. Pedro asking the question wide. Matrus. Oh, it's a wild pass. Goodness gracious. I'll be disappointed with that. Looking a little bit panicky though, guys. A bit jerky on the pass. Probably need to be, again, trust the man on the outside and not force the pass. I mean, plenty of time to score 2 or 3 tries and get back on top of this encounter.
So Landbou send it to Van Niekerk. He looks like a target for Landbou as they go to runner off line out play. Lock forward but standing in the back line. Mills with the box kick. Olje de Prier fires it away to James Scott. Landbou trying to choke tackle him, but he's gone to ground. Play on. Pedro de Prier back on the inside away Henderson. And there goes Salon. Don't know how he got that ball. And Pedro goes blind. De Prier conservatively holds onto the ball. Gray in the red zone again. One gets the feeling that they need to get over the line here. Dean van Dijk. Good play there by Gray. And here comes Pedro. Salon, will he ever go himself? With a wild skip pass. Brilliant play to Brian and Njazula. And that is a crucial score there in the corner.
Beautiful try. Interesting, Landbou pushing up very hard on the outside, and they've created holes close to channel 1 and 2, and Gray been pushing through there. The offload game is getting going, and I think for the first time they've shown some patience. Salon's Hail Mary to the outside though. Thankfully St. Jazila had enough pace to get over, but they needed that try. I think it's a pivotal moment in the match, maybe a turning point for the men in blue, and with 25 minutes to go, they trail by 6 with a kick to come.
It's a very important kick as well, just to put some pressure on Landbou. As you can just see highlights of the try. Wonderful play. It must be a nightmare defending against Waka Salon, because your first thought is he's going to take it up himself with his size, and then he thinks a beautiful skip pass to Travis de Bruin, and then they find Njazula in the right corner.
To Prier with a very tough conversion chance here. Inches from the touchline.
Wonderful shot there as well. Can de Prier deliver? Decent strike. It's a great strike, but somehow it doesn't go over. 11 points to 11. 17 to
11 there. Yeah, just very unlucky. Just not enough legs on the kick. Get the feeling his fields are slightly narrower than standard, Justin. I'm not really sure what the stats are, but lovely to see the guys getting the ball touchline to touchline, as I said earlier on. Stretch that defence, and Landbou look like a sucking gas. I don't see any subs coming on yet. Maybe the fresh legs are required for the men in black. And Gray now probably going to be full of beans and full of enthusiasm. I see Jordan Blewett has come on as well. Replacement 8th man in 21.
Using their numbers on the bench, but it's a knock-on now. But Gray are back in this game. They just need to make sure that they can get out of their own half after scoring. It's very important for them to do that.
Old adage again is you haven't really scored until you got out of your half. So another mess from the restart, and Landbou again with an attacking scrum. And again, I think this fly for theirs. One Hendricks will probably have a crack again. Slippery character that he is. And this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, Hendricks is an absolute wild card. You never know really what's going to happen when he gets the ball. It's got Francois de Toit, he's captain on his outside, and here we go. It's actually de Klerk there, flinging the pass out wide. And here's Lamprecht, actually Van der Merwe, sorry, the right wing. Mills sends it to Hendricks. And there's Kutsov, gets driven back hard in the tackle. That's a great tackle by Gray. Hendricks, weird kick there. And the 22 is giving chase. JG Basson, and it's stolen there by Njazula. Wonderful stuff by the fullback.
Now Pedro again, wild pass, but de Prier gets hands on, and he's found a decent touch. Well done, LJ. Be happy to get out of jail there to an extent. Now Boland 22, you said there was Basson, starting to use their bench as well, yeah. And now that you probably find the Boland coaches, I think Dion Carsons is probably pulling his hair out at how few of their lineup ball they've taken cleanly this morning.
Kandrotsky find a clean line out, and they do. Lots of tricks around the line out, and here's the big man, Marco van Niekerk. The supporters love him. Landbou, can they look to add the pressure? But it's stolen. Brilliant work by Gray.
Jordan Blue with a turnover there. It's setting great targets there, running a great line onto 10. James Scott with some work to do here. Big man, father Stuart Scott is a very successful hockey player, played for South Africa under 20. James doesn't look like a hockey player to me. He's become a very good rugby player the last couple of years. Man who only came into an A-side frame as a grade 10 and has made that number 1 jersey his own. No touch here, Mills. Got Hendricks in support. Hendricks wisely with the boots. Testing Franks. Oh, man in front of the kicker there.
There's an opportunity for Gray. Enrique Franks taps and goes, finds Pedro. And Pedro, he's got a gliding run and a gliding step. And Gray sniffing an opportunity here. Any points that they get will make it very difficult for Landbou. And they're looking to get into the 22 here. Pedro, service has been good. Pops it to the 21. Pedro. They fling it out to Corne Slabbert, who's on the field, had a good game last week. He's the replacement hooker. Landbou now. They've got numbers on the left, but they decide to go. Pick and go. Bread and butter stuff. Gavin Mills at the base. That's another banana kick. And here's a chance now for Oosthuizen. And he sends it to Enrique Franks. Crashes it up the middle. And there's a chance here. Oosthuizen. Plenty of room. He's got tons of pace. What an ankle tap there by the smart Hendricks. But Gray in a wonderful part of the field. Slabbert. Pedro. Gray need quick ball. Griffin crashing it up. Gray have tons of numbers on the left.
Should go wide from this. Poor pass, but Dupre's done well. Franks. Matris gets it wide here, and Jazule's having a go on the outside. Great run again, maintain possession. Wade Henderson with a clean. And the ref calling for offsides. Nice decision time here. I think immature, you probably want your guys to just chip away here, take it within 3 points. No, Dupre's got hands on, he wants to tap and go. And he's having a crack. Good work from Dupre. They set the wide ruck. Griffin going towards the touchline. And Pedro hands on here again. Wade Henderson standing still. Static carry. He's made sure of possession again. Behind the back to Franks. To Matris. Straight into contact. Pass behind the back. Silly stuff. The maintaining possession gone back about 20 meters there. Landbou's defense has been very, very impressive, Justin.
It's been phenomenal, actually. I think their all-round performance today has been really clever and efficient. But giving away a penalty there. Will Matrus, the captain of Grey, elect to have a shot at goal? Yeah, what did you do?
I'd go at goal, but knowing these kids are going to kick for the corner and drive. I mean, they've been very successful on the maul all season long. Surprisingly, a substitute coming here during the penalty. Fourth official has made a bit of a mistake there. And there he's gone for touch, as anticipated. And 5-6 meters out here. Scroll line has worked well all day long, and I'd expect them to come close to scoring from this drive that I'm expecting them to set up.
Key thing is that Grey have been shaky the whole game, but they're still in the game. They're only 6 points behind, and a score could put them in front. As they look to get the Sherman tank going here, it's Slabbert. He will look to finish. He's literally a meter out. Slabbert is over, and an important score for Grey. Now they have an opportunity to go in front there.
Beautiful try. Corne showing a lot of patience there. Lost a bit of inertia towards the end of it, and then just held on to the ball wisely. Went over. Young man in grade 11. Be good to have him back next season. And I think Grey can feel really, really good the last 10 minutes. I think they have the momentum at the moment. And I think it's Landbou's time, Olaf Berg and his coaching staff to feel a little bit nervous. Dupre another tough chance now from the left-hand side. But I think we might see more of this in the rest of the half. Grey really getting to their stride now.
And that's Slabbert's second try in 2 weeks. Scored a great try last week against Daniel Pienaar. Can Olje Dupre put Grey in front? It's amazing how a game of rugby can turn out. Grey been very shaky, but if Dupre can put this over, they're in the lead. Dupre then. Unbelievable kick, and that just shows how great the man is. Puts the kick over from the corner. 18 points to 17 to Grey. Can you believe it?
I'm actually quite surprised, but at the same time not. These men have got they've got the minerals, as the British would say. It's the first time they've hit the lead all game long since the first minute, since Landbou scored their first try. And work to do here, Franks. I don't think we're going to see Landbou change their plan if they get hands on the ball. They'll probably have a crack and go wide. Salon under the ball, juggle it. Oh, lucky for Gray, they're lucky escape. Landbou knocking the ball on according to the referee, and that's scrum down. Expect Gray to have a go here. It's a funny feeling. I think I'll trying to get wide. It's perhaps territory is what they need to think about.
Yes, it's always a testing position to be in, just outside your 22, because you can't kick the ball out on the full, obviously. Do you have a run? Do you bash it up? It's going to be interesting to see if they crash it up through the 8th man, or decide to give it to Dupree and have a run, or go for touch. What will they do?
Looks like they might go wide to Salon here and use his left foot and find some territory. It's not a bad nudge. And he's let it bounce. Bit of pressure coming here from Ewan Tate. Oh, doesn't manage to grab him. There's a scrag tackle, and Landbou under pressure now. Gray's turn to use the territory to their advantage.
McKay did a marvellous job there to get out of trouble. And Landbou haven't had the ball much in this half. 10 minutes to go. What can they do? And that's Solon under it. And he can also catch. Line out on halfway. Landbou, they'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, they've really kicked well out of hand here. Those high hangers have been very accurate, flirting with the touchline, making the defensive player commit to taking the ball and then carrying him out. See Rion Jonker coming back on here for Corne Slabbert. It's a brief foray into the game for the young man. And yeah, we have our man Drotsky. He's under pressure to find his jumper. The return hasn't been good today for him.
Franco Fenter. That time they got it right. Hendricks and Francois de Toits leading by example, the captain. And they tap and go through the live wire. Hendricks. But the ref is pulling them back again.
Well, he's got to call a scrum. He did the first time. Choosing not to this time, so they're not very consistent. And I think Mills will have a crack at goal here. He's having a chat. Yes, captain's pointing at the post.
It's a chance to go in front. And he hasn't missed a kick all day. Had 3 shots at goal. Delivered on all 3. Lot of distance on this one though. But pretty much out in front. If he can deliver, yeah, it'll be a 4 points, or should I say a 2 point advantage.
Hendricks is a live wire. Probably a bit of a nightmare as a coach. That's what to expect from him. I actually wonder how that break could have ended up if he'd tapped from the mark. But Moles, I think this is inside his range, and he's kicked well the last 2 weeks. Shouldn't be a problem for him.
Gavin Mills. That's drifted to the left. He'll be upset with that. Gray will breathe a sigh of relief.
Sorry, Gavin, commentator's cursed there. And the ball to Philip Henderson. Philip loves kicking in practice. I was worried that he might try to kick a drop kick from this sort of situation. And then Dupree putting some distance on it, and I think Mills has got that covered.
To Matt Dunning. And here comes Hendricks again. He's involved a lot in play. This is an interesting one. And Dupree does a conservative thing and just mentors that ball out into touch.
Great kick again from Landbou. They'll be winning this territorial battle all day long. Although I wonder, though, in the context of the match, if they shouldn't be trying to keep the ball in hand. Because when they've run with it, they've been dangerous. Their wings have shown tremendous penetration on attack. They're Lake and Gray in the front. Another great option. The lineouts has worked very well for the men in blue today. And there's Salon making meters again. To Dean van Dijk. And this is a positive situation already for Gray. Slightly slower ball. Go behind the pod. Dupree goes wide. Franks asking the question. Gives it to Ewan Tate. Haven't seen much of him this afternoon. And Tate flings it back inside. Advantage to Landbou.
Initial good play there by Gray, but unfortunately they've lost the ball. And Landbou, well, they need points. 7 minutes to go here. They've really played well.
Crazy
and that's
option.
a weird kick. And look who's got it. James Scott, the loose head prop.
I'm not really sure what Mills' thought process was with that. And they've turned ball over. Warwick Griffin. Carry out from the IT Wiz. This is wide Dupree. Wise kick. He should find a bit of grass yet. Westhuizen chasing hard. It's a man Basson. Oh, and it could be interesting here.
That's a good clean-up of the rubbish there by McKay. But Landbou under pressure at ruck time. Gavin Mills has to clear. And here's a chance now for Ronaldo Pedro. Finds Franks. And he sends it to his left winger, Johan Tate. Tate finding a little bit of space. And Landbou have to defend. They need to try and get a turnover. If Gray can score here, it'll be a killer blow. And they've lost it forward. And Sebastian de Klerk, and now he's lost it again. So he has a chance for Landbou, but they're really in the wrong part of the field here.
They really are. Bit of panic there. I'm surprised that neither Pedro, Franks or Tate looked up. All the defence from Landbou was scrambling. They could have put a little kick behind and it could have been an interesting foot race. Ref has a stern blow of the whistle. Subs coming on? No, doesn't look like it. Possibly a bootlace. And now Landbou, you'd expect a conservative option here. They probably want to find some, these guys have kicked well out of hand, find some touch and try to put pressure on Gray from the next line. I'll try to get down into Gray's half. Because the penalty wins this game at the moment.
But then again, if you get the ball to Hendricks, you never know what he's going to do. He literally looks like he's got something up his sleeves already. Looking to his players on his left, to his captain, Francois de Toit.
Maybe a blindside play here. The backline's line up very, very deep. Johan Tate is quite deep on defence, so there's some space to exploit for Carl Mills if he does go down the short side. And the ref is moving him to a slightly drier spot here, a bit spongy underfoot. As I said, it's a glorious, mild winter's day. Not too warm, but the sun is shining, there's no wind. And if you are in the vicinity, come down. It's always nicer watching it live. I mean, the broadcast, School Sports Live have been fantastic as usual. But it's always nicer watching this live. Grab a burger and take in some top schools rugby on this lovely Saturday down at Rondebosch Boys High School.
Gavin Mills, Landbou Pack has an important job here and they deliver. Hendricks, no intention of kicking. De Toit. It's a marvellous runner, is the number 12, and there's a penalty. So what will Landbou do? Very conservative there.
Yeah, surprised, not much of a shrill blast for the penalty there from the official. Hand possibly just slipping up there from Salon. And yeah, Hendricks looking for touch, and he hasn't found it. Henrik Frank safe as houses underneath here. Basson has chased well. Oh, that's gone around the neck too. No blow from the referee. And Grace set. Dean van Dijk running hard into contact. Tough man, Dean. Decided not to make himself available for Craven League selection this year. Surprising call from the schoolboy, but he's delivered. He's had a good season for Grey. Turnover ball, Landbou.
So Landbou with a few minutes to go.
Van Dijk's won it back, and now they're hands in from the side here. Yes, there we go. Aara's given the referee the call, and Grey will be happy to get away with that. 4 minutes to go. And I think LJ Dupree will look for that right-hand corner. Set up the maul. No, back to the left foot of Waka Salon.
You have to praise Grey. No matter what the result is, they've done wonderfully well to get back into the game. And that's a great mark of a great side, because even though they've been shaky, they're winning the game.
Yeah, they found, I mean, good sides find a way, as you often hear said by good coaches. And this side, as I said earlier, have got huge guns. These guys don't understand what it is to give up. But then Landbou have been game. Landbou have given their all as well, and they've made a good go of it all day long. Setting the maul here at the back, and they've got some good inertia. Ruan Jonker controlling at the back now, and they're making meters. Landbou will have to do something illegal to stop this maul. That's been collapsed. Advantage to Grey, and they'll probably go wide here. Salon committing a few defenders. Good tackle in the midfield by Landbou. Blake and Grey with a good carry into contact. Slow ball, but again just running the clock down in the right part of the field for the men in blue.
Clean, efficient half by Grey, and as a result they're in the lead. And here comes Njazula taking it into contact, and it's a penalty, surely a shot of goal. Only 2 minutes to go. But maybe Pedro will have other ideas, but he doesn't.
Well, the angle's quite tight. They've been good at the line-outs, have been good all day long. So I'm expecting probably a kick for touch again. Try and take it beyond the 7-pointer. Yes, there's Salon has hands on the ball.
It's a real weapon, isn't it? They're roving more.
You know, it's become a strength of play since Rory Duncan, our director of rugby and first team coach for a couple of seasons, 2012 and 2013. Rory introduced the maul as an attacking platform of choice. Pleasing to see that he's coaching the Currie Cup side at the Cheetahs this year again. And they go to the back to Way Henderson, does well. And then Jonker has control. And then they're rumbling slowly forward. Landbou got to be under huge pressure here. And Jonker's over.
Oh, it's hold up. Is there a twist in the tail?
5 metre scrum. I think they'll back themselves from that too. Ref was right on the spot. I think Jonker possibly went a little bit too early. He wasn't as patient as Slubbert was from the last drive. It's Gray again with a good platform. And possibly we might see some magic here between the outside backs. Although Money, that ball's going to number 12. I think Salon's going to have a go here. He's very flat unless they go behind his back.
I think Salon would love to get over for a try here. An absolute nightmare to defend against. And there's been a few resets here, but Gray won't mind it. 1 minute on the clock. Surely, if they be sensible, they'll get a great result here going into their game with Sachs on Monday. And that will be an absolute humdinger. It's Pedro this time. Can the two forwards packs get it right and get the final play of the game underway? Pedro. Can Gray deliver a killer blow? Solon eating up some defense there, but he could be holed up. And if Boland get the ball here, it could be drama, and they've got a turnover. They've got a final bite to the cherry, from 95 meters out.
Wow, you see Solon worked very hard to get his knees to the ground there, but the ref felt he hadn't done enough, and justifiable turnover, and Landbou got to have a crack here. Finishing the defensive alignments, Gray flooding the short side there. Hendricks is on the short side, but Landbou need to keep the ball and go 100 meters to score here. So this could be a very interesting last couple of seconds.
If that happens, it'll be your typical coast-to-coast try. Do they have it in them?
They're not that typical, Justin. It's exciting end to it. It's been a very, very exciting ding-dong game of rugby here today.
So can Landbou make it look typical? Gavin Mills, their forward pack have to get it right. Mills is coming blind. This is interesting. Hendricks. Gray got to be careful here. Clean defense though. Landbou. 85 meters out. What can they do? They were phenomenal in the first half. Competitive in the second. But they need a score. Good running there by Francois du Toit. They've got plenty of meters to go here. McKay scored a wonderful try to open up the game. They're rumbling on you up towards the 10-meter line. It's not over. So they can also get into penalty territory. They can get another 30 meters on the clock, and it's a penalty. That's the game. Fantastic result for Gray.
Well, kudos to Landbou. They showed some bravery there, but just not enough numbers. Men got isolated, and I think the men from P are going to be very, very pleased to have come back from, was it 11-5 at half-time? And to snatch, which is going to be a memorable win for the men in blue. Well done to both sides, though. Landbou typically competitive, and I think we're very, very pleased with that result. Justin, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure calling this game with you too, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me, Werner. Important result there for Gray, and they've done the job. Next game after this is an absolute cracker in Sachs taking on Selborne. It's going to be a marvelous encounter, and what a day it's been so far. Still 2 days or 2 games to go of this day, and then another 5 games on Monday. So a little break in proceedings. It's going to be a cross-country race. We'll join you shortly. Thank you.
When I'm standing in the middle of the stand.